Hello everyone, I'm glad to present our paper Snapshot Testing Dataset. I'm Henrique Rocha, I'm an assistant professor at Loyola University, Maryland. This work was done by me and Emily Bui, who just graduated as a computer science major at the Loyola University, Maryland. Now, what snapshot testing is become very popular recently in the industry. It basically compares the current state of an object with a snapshot to highlight the changes. This is mostly done as a visual regression form of testing, where we compare, for example, React components, which are visual front-end components, to see if they change or not. But that can be done for other types, not only front-end. You could do this for data structures or back-end, but mostly this is done for front-end as a form of visual regression. The most popular tools we found are Jest and Cypress. If you look at the GitHub repositories using Jest right now, tagged with the Jest keyword, there's like 15,000 right now, and Cypress will be about 3,000. So Jest at least is more popular on GitHub. That's why we chose to focus on Jest. This here would be a simple example of a snapshot test written in Jest. We basically, suppose we create this React component called social media link, which has an HTML of our social link for our web page. Then in the last line here on the test, we have true-match snapshot, which will compare that component with our stored state. And suppose someone changed that social media link to something else. If it does, when I run my test, this will be the output. Just will show me that the snapshot stored is not matching the current object, and will highlight to me the difference in a diff format. So snapshot test is very popular on big tech. Many companies are using a lot of snapshot testing on their daily activities. However, that's not really well known in academia. We did search on digital libraries looking for research papers on snapshot testing. Very few matches came out. That's one of the motivation for this dataset, is to increase the awareness and give a dataset so other researchers can do empirical research focusing on snapshot testing. For the data collection, we use GitHub API and a proxy server. The link for the proxy server is down below, to gather public GitHub repositories that had been tagged with the Jest keyword, since Jest is the most popular framework for snapshot testing as far as we know, had at least 1 star, was written in the language JavaScript and TypeScript, had to be further in 2008, and had at least 1 snapshot file inside the repository. Our initial idea was to gather at least the top 1,000 repositories, but after getting 686, no other repository matched our criteria. That's why we have that number in our dataset. Here's a brief overview of the numbers of our dataset. From the size, we have about 10,000 gigabytes. On average, each repository has 15 megabytes, or on median, 1.8 megabytes. We had a total of 4,600 snapshot testing files on that dataset. For our top 10 repositories, if you look at them, the size of their snapshot files comprise of almost 20% of all the snapshot files in our dataset. Therefore, it's very qualitative to look at the top repositories on Snapshot for more qualitative data. As final remarks, we believe there is qualitative value in the dataset that we build, brings a lot of these new things, snapshot tests, which I think is really cool to study. We are trying to improve the dataset with more data, and we even have some collaborators working on that with us, trying to not only get the number of test files, but also what are the test methods and how many lines of code there are for those test methods. We believe there's many cool research questions we can try to answer using a snapshot dataset. Here are just a few examples that we envision, but we think it's a really cool topic with a lot of potential for research. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please send an email to me or Emily. We'll be happy to answer any questions, or we welcome also collaborations on this type of research. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.